everybody appreciates that his standard of japa. He had a program that I kind of emulated over. He emphasized the morning program to the exclusion of the evening program because he got up basically around midnight to go, shower and then go to the temple and chant japa. I mean, so he did chant his rounds slower than most people, but to chant from 12 to 4, you got to be chanting more than 16 rounds. That's pretty safe to say. And he always chanted loudly, which is another point that I appreciate. First time you come in the temple and you wonder, Hare Hare Hare, who is that masked man? And then if you get a peep underneath the chadar, there's this big old clock. Some of us have watches. Some of you I see you don't even have to bother in the Holy Dham. But he'd have this big old clock. It's in there on his bed. And they're that good sometimes. That's far out. In his little bag, he'd have this big clock that he used for keeping time. He was so detached from a lot of the exteriors. He didn't like the label of being called an avadut, because we tend to think that an avadut means someone who's crazy. I mean, that kind of goes along with our purport to avadut. So he wasn't all that thrilled about the label of avadut, but he was so detached. He wasn't overly concerned or attached to, one, I think, what people thought about his external appearances, like as if that had any real significance. Or, two, just whatever he had, he used in Krishna service. I mean, it surprised me because it happened after our, that mid-'80s time, but he really got into computers and what have you. I still really haven't. I've looked at a computer once in this whole time in Mayapur. I don't like computers, and they tend not to like me, but there's so much you can do in Krishna service, and he got into it. Him and Vrindavan Leela, you Prabhus here in Mayapur, you may not appreciate it half as much as we did, but in the West, to get all these pictures of the deities and the Dham, and, when they always say Kata. I say Kata, but the Mayapur Kata magazine, to hear the stories that were going on in the Dham and what was really happening, like being there, it's just invaluable. And he was a real ambassador. He and Vrindavan Leela were real ambassadors for Mayapur, and that's another thing that